Chapter 2.3. This is about subtracting signed numbers. Remember the rules for technically adding signed numbers. Simplify double signs first. Then, if the numbers have the same sign, add them and keep the sign. And if the numbers have opposite signs, subtract and keep the sign of the technically larger one or the one you've got more of. There is a translations page for Ms. Spears' class. You can find this page under Blackboard under course documents. If you're not in my class, then you can find them in the classroom on one of the tables. Having this page near you as you do this section would be kind of a smart idea. Now, subtract 7 from -3. This is a big fat hairy deal, and it never ever never goes away. Remember that this wording always switches order. So the translation of this translates into -3, the second part first, and then -7. Then you would use the rule. They have the same sign, so you add them and you keep the sign. So 3 plus 7 is 10, and you keep your minus sign. So 8 minus 5, we don't have double signs, so now we look. This is a positive, this is a negative. These are opposite signs, so the rule is you subtract them. So 8 minus 5 is 3. 8 is bigger than 5. The sign of 8 is positive, so this is a positive 3. I could also write this as just 3. Now, no double signs together, so a -4 minus a 10. Same signs, so I add 10 and 4, so that gives me 14, and I keep my sign. We have double signs here, so leave it, change it, change it. So that gives us 6 plus a positive 5, which is 11. Same signs, add them, keep the sign. The sign is positive. And I don't know what was supposed to have happened with that. Oh, this was supposed to have been a plus. Okay. So -11 plus a -7, double signs. Plus and minus is the same thing as just minus. Now they both have the same sign, so I add them to give me 18, and I keep my sign. Okay, then -10 minus 5, same signs, so we add them and we keep the minus sign. Minus a minus, leave it, change it, change it. So that gives us -4 plus a positive 5. Now these have opposite signs. So the rule is we subtract. So 5 minus 4 is 1. And the sign of the bigger number is positive. So our answer is +1. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay? Simplify the double negatives. I think by now you should know minus a minus becomes plus. Now remember, on the last lesson we had some negatives and we had some positives, and what did we say? You add the two that have the same signs, and then you add the two that have the other signs. Okay? So a +7 plus a +5 is +12. -8 and a -1 become -9. Now these have opposite signs, so we have to subtract. So 12 minus 9 is 3, and the larger number is 12, and its sign is positive, so we've got a positive 3 as the answer. Then on H, we've got two sets of double signs. Plus and minus is the same thing as minus. And minus a minus is the same thing as plus. Now we've got two positive numbers, 7 and 8, so 7 plus 8, and then negative 12 minus 3. Combine your positives, that's 15. Oops. Combine your negatives, that's minus 15. And what happens here? We get a big fat nothing. Don't you love doing all that work and getting a 0? Yeah, that's not my favorite either. Now, this formula says x minus y. We replace x with negative 3 and then a minus from the formula, and replace y with 9. So negative 3 minus 9 have the same sign, so we add them and we keep the sign. Now remember on part B, when I see nothing between 2 and a, it means times. So I say 2 times something and minus. My a is 8, my b is negative 6. So 8 and negative 6. Simplify the signs, that's plus 6, and 2 times 8 is 16. They both have the same sign, so add them and keep the sign. So 22, and it's a positive 22. Now when you have a problem like this one, the word problem, the highest point in the United States is Mount McKinley at 20,320 feet above sea level. And then the lowest point is Death Valley at 282 feet below. Now above means you got a positive number. Below means you've got a negative number. Now this kind of a problem I prefer doing visually. Here's negative 282. And here is a positive 20,320. This is Mount McKinley, and this one down here is Death Valley. Now, how far is it to get from Death Valley up to Mount McKinley? Well, if you said we needed to add them, you're in the right direction. So we take 20,320 and we add to that 282. I would rather see this one visually because it makes more sense. Then 0 plus 2 is 2, 2 plus 8 is 10, so carry the 0 down, carry the 1 up. That makes 4, 5, 6, and then 0, 2. So that's 20,602 feet. Now, part A here. Find the difference of negative 8 and, and negative 13. Find the difference means you keep the order. So watch how I do it. I write negative 8 where the and is. I put difference means minus, but I still have a negative 13. So we've got double signs here, which means we're really going to end up adding. So negative 8 plus 13. opposite signs, so we take 13 minus 8, which gives us 5, and the sign of our bigger number is positive. Subtract negative 12 from 2. This is one of those you have to be careful about because, again, it has to switch order. So we put the 2 first, and subtract means minus, and we put our negative 12 last. So, again, double signs. So 2 plus 12, and we get a positive 14. Find 15 minus 3. It's one of those that stays in the same order given. So we just say 15 minus becomes minus, and then 3. 15 minus 3 is easy to deal with because it's the way we're normally seeing it. So 15 minus 3 is 12. If you have questions, ask.